Okay, the introduction. The book is Haig's unique novel, The Midnight Library ponders the infinite possibilities of life. It is about a young man named Nora Seed who lives a monotonous, ordinary life and feels unwanted and unaccomplished. The title of the book is The Midnight Library. The name of the author it is Haig. Type of fiction chosen is fantasy, and it is contemporary, and the number of pages is 34 pages, and year of publication is 2020. And why we choose this book? Because the concept of the book takes heavily issue like anxiety and depressions, and making them easy to read, inform. Okay, about this book, which is The Midnight Library. The Midnight Library is about Nora, a 30-something woman who is regretful about her life and feels alienated and unneeded in this world. In the depths of her well-being, she comes across the Midnight Library. Each book represents a portal into another version of what her life could have been. As she reads the volumes, they allow her to access different versions of her life. Relationships she could have stuck with, careers she could have pursued, and so on. She jumps in and out of these alternate realities. Nora's journey of self-discovery results in a life-affirming and reflective story about the choice we make, the paths we have chosen, and each of our places in this world. And next, I gave a continuation of this story to my partner, which is Fighting Aina.
The main theme of this story is philosophy and the meaning of life. Through the novel, Nora contemplates the meaning of life in terms that are often influenced by major figures of Western philosophy. This figure appeared as both brief, reverent, and conservation's platform. Her cat, named Voltaire, she contemplates herself, perspective on life, and his many infidelities, and in one life, her favorite line from Nora is tattooed on her forehead. In Permafrost, one of the chapters outlining Nora's life on the research vessel in Svalbard, Nora finds herself musing on the fragility of life after a near-death encounter with a polar bear. Maybe even the most seemingly perfect, intense, or worthwhile life ultimately felt the same. Act of disappointment and monotony, and hurts and rivalries with flashes of wonder and beauty. Maybe that was the only meaning that mattered, to be the world witnessing itself. Although Nora may never fully grasp the meaning of life, she does come to appreciate its value. Now we move to the part which is how Nora's personality has changed because of her experience in the story. Nora Seed, the protagonist of The Midnight Library, begins the novel by taking an intentional overdose in an attempt to end her life. Nora decides to attempt suicide because she is unhappy with every detail of her modern-day life, which she traces back to making all the wrong choices in her earlier story. When she finds herself in the Midnight Library and is given the opportunity to examine her regrets more closely, she learns what her life would have been like if she made each choice differently. As she explores these alternative personal timelines and starts to notice the relationship between her choice and her changing life. If you ask me whether I would recommend this book to others or not, my answer is yes, especially to those persons who currently having their hard time to know what the purpose of life. And one of the biggest reasons from reading the Midnight Library is because it quiets my mind. I was so engrossed in the night library that I stopped worrying about deadline and small annoyance and biggest fear. Even days later, when my mind darted to the would have, should have, could have, I was able to redirect. Call it Haig effect. Why squander energy on imagining some other life? It will be different, yes, but that doesn't mean better. As Nora realized, it's not life we regret not living that are the real problem. It is the regret itself. It's the regret that makes us shiver and wither and feel like our own and other people's worst enemy. As Nora mused, it it is quite a revelation to discover that the place you want to escape is the exact same place you escaped from. That the prison that the prison wasn't the place but the perspectives. It turns out I didn't need a midnight library to shift my own perspective. I just need a single book. As conclusion, through the novel, readers can help but question their past decision, both major and minor, along with Nora. Yet, with every flip of page, they come closer and closer to burning their own book of regrets. We don't know how Nora will spend her life. We don't know if she will live another 5 years or 5 minutes. We don't know how she will spend or who she will spend it with. All we know is she'll be given a second chance, one she fought desperately for towards the end of the novel. And with all the knowledge she gained from jumping and to and from the many lives she could have potentially life, Nora is determined to make her current reality once she would check out from the Midnight Library.